One of the things I really want to do in my lawn care business is to make sure that I'm not doing applications that are not necessary for the customer. Now, maybe not necessary, but have a purpose, okay? I don't want to just go out there and do something just to take somebody's money. But that being said, some of the applications honestly are just a little bit more important than the other ones. And so I would rank this one as the second most important lawn application of the year. Now that may depend on the yard. Some of them may need something worse than others. In this video, I'm going to show you the products I'm using and explain it to you step by step so it's easy to understand for you. Today's video is sponsored by Yardbook. I've been rolling with Yardbook for my lawn care software since 2015. If you need a software for your lawn care business, then go to yardbook.com. Probably should mention too, with this being the second most important lawn application of the year, what's the most important? Well, in my opinion, with our warm season grasses particularly, is that early season, like for us in Birmingham, Alabama area, it's like January, February time frame. That early season pre and post emergent application. So I'm putting down prodiamine in to keep the crabgrass from taking over a yard. And that's particularly important with my Bermuda grass lawns, because oftentimes you got a bad lawn, it's full of crabgrass. If you don't put that pre-emergent application down, then you're gonna have so much crabgrass in the yard that it makes it virtually impossible for the Bermuda grass to look halfway decent, because there's so much competition for the crabgrass. So I would put that as my number one application if I was only gonna do one the entire year. But the fall application would be my number two. Okay, we've got gray skies. It might rain soon, so I'm gonna try to get this done before the rain comes. So I've got my gram spray rig here, and I've got a 400-gallon split tank. So this is my large side, small side. The small side, I've got the same products mixed in there as I do on the large side, but this side I've got mixed up for my Z spray, so it's at a different, more concentrated ratio than the large side, which I've got mixed just to spray straight out of the hose over there. But these are the products, again, that are mixed in both sides. Let's go through them quickly. Now, you don't have to use exactly what I'm doing, and I may just say that I've even made some changes this year to what I did last year. A very moderate change, and I'll try to explain that as well. Contestant number one, we've got Spectacle Flow. Now, if you look at this gallon right here, the sticker price on this baby is over $2,000 this year, plus tax, okay? Now it goes a long way. Don't fall out, pick yourself up off the floor, get your jaw off the ground, all that, but it's an expensive product, and my number one tip on Spectacle Flow is don't spill it when you're mixing it, because you just cost yourself a whole lot of money. Be careful. This is my non-ionic surfactant here. I usually put 2 pints for every 100 gallons. So again, I've got a 100-gallon side, I'll put 2 pints on this side. I've got a 300-gallon side, I'll put 6 pints on that side. This is Princep. The active ingredient in that is simazine. Now, my understanding is simazine is going to work on grassy weeds. The idea with the simazine is maybe some poa annua or something like that's already germinated, and I'm going to put that in there, and hopefully it'll knock it out, combined with my Spectacle, to be able to knock out any poa annua. Manor, this is metsulfuron, dirt cheap. I put just 1/4 ounce per acre in there, and the reason I put it in there might be some cool season weeds that's already germinated, but there's also spurge just kind of hanging around in the yard. And when I combine the Manor with this is 2,4-D, then it should get rid of most of the existing broadleaf weeds, whether they're cool season weeds that's already germinated or warm season weeds that are still hanging around. The 2,4-D and the metsulfuron, that combination could knock it out. So what's the ratios here? Let me tell you what I'm doing this year. I've got 2 pints per acre of this 2,4-D, 2 pints per acre of this simazine, 1/4 ounce per acre of the Manor, 2 pints for every 100 gallons of my non-ionic penetrant, and I'm going with 6 ounces of the Spectacle. Now, let me talk to you just a little bit. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who used to work for Bayer, who's the company here that manufactures Spectacle, and he was giving me some advice. And in his opinion, he thought, you know, he said, I think 9 ounces is the magic number to get to for really being effective against poa annua. And Bayer came out with some information. Bayer calls themselves Envu now, E-N-V-U. But they came out with some information saying, you know, you can put 9 ounces out in the fall. That's one way to do it. But they thought a better way was to do split application. So to get to 9 ounces, you could do 4.5 and then do 4.5 later, you know, November, December, January. Or you could do 3 now and 6 later. Or you could do 6 now and 3 later. Well, talking to my friend, he suggested, you know, still going a little bit heavier in the fall, even though a lot of poa may not germinate until February or March of next year. So anyway, what I decided to do, and I didn't overthink this, I decided to go with 6 ounces now, and I'm gonna put 3 ounces in my round 1 mix, which will be January, with prodiamine, and hopefully that will help also get any late germinating poa. We'll see how it works. I can compare my results to last year because I know I got a few yards that are really bad on poa. Now it is sprinkling. Now here's the objective here. Here's what we're trying to do with this pre and post emergent combination. You see I've got the spectacle flow, that's my pre-emergent. What I'm trying to do is to get that down and get it watered in before we start getting those cool nights in the fall. So I start applying it maybe mid-September, and it may take me on into October to finish. But you know, maybe it gets cool and there's a little bit of poa germinating. Hopefully that spectacle, from what I've been told, has this reach back potential, meaning that it can still knock out some baby poa. And with the simazine in there, that Princep product, hopefully it's gonna get that baby poa that may have already germinated. And then again, the 2,4-D and the manor, hopefully gonna get rid of most of my broadleaf weeds, whether that be a dandelion that's starting to perk back up, or it may be some henbit or something that may have just germinates real tiny, or it may be some spurge or something that's hanging around in the lawn. I'm gonna try to give you a little bit of a math lesson as far as lawn care math, because sometimes I get asked, you know, well, how much do I put in the tank? You know, well, that just depends. That's not a, it sounds like an easy question. It's actually not that easy. If you want to watch a video when you get done with this one, just go on YouTube and search for Lawn Care Life Calibration, and there's a video we did several years ago that'll give you some information. But let me just show you. Let's just say I'm mixing up 100 gallons, okay, on my small side there. And based on my walking pace and how much water comes out of the gun and all that, I spray about 2 gallons for every 1,000 square feet. Now, if you want to get close to what that is, amount for you, you can measure out 5,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet and just put water in the tank and go spray it and see how many gallons you use. You know, if you measure out 10,000 square feet and you spray it and you sprayed 20 gallons, then you're spraying 2 gallons for every 1,000 square feet. That's the number that's really important to know, whether you're riding a machine or you got something hooked up on a lawnmower or a four-wheeler or whatever you're using to spray. You need to know how many gallons you're spraying per 1,000 square feet. But for me, walking, well, my walking speed, which may be different than your walking speed, and the way my tank is spraying with the adjustment I've made on the regulator, I spray about 2 gallons for every 1,000 square feet. So I'm gonna take that 100 gallons and I'm gonna divide that by 2, because it's 2 gallons for every 1,000 square feet. Again, that number is gonna be different for a lot of people. And that's gonna tell me how many thousands of square feet I can cover in 100 gallons. Now that makes sense. I can cover 50,000 square feet. You know, 100 gallons, I'm spraying 2 gallons per 1,000 square feet. I can cover 50,000 square feet. But I want to know how many acres that is. So I'm going to divide that by 43.56. That means with 100 gallons, I can spray 1.14 acres. Now, what did I say the rates were? I said, well, on the spectacle, I'm spraying 6 ounces per acre. Well, your yard may not be an acre, but if you want to mix up 100 gallons, at my speed, I can cover 1.14 acres. We'll multiply that by 6. I need to put 6.88 ounces of spectacle in 100 gallons. So even though it costs over $2,000 for a jug of spectacle, you can cover over an acre with only 6.88 ounces at the rate I'm using it. You know, what were we at, like 1.14 or something like that acres? Well, I need to put 2 pints of simazine and 2 pints of 2,4-D. Well, that's 2.28 pints is what it comes out to. So if I fill that 100 gallons up, I'm gonna put, you know, the 6.88 ounces of spectacle, 2.28 pints of Princep, 2.28 pints of 2,4-D. I'm gonna put 2 pints of the surfactant in there. And then what about the manor, metsulfuron? I'm going to do a 1/4 ounce. So I'm only going to put 0.285 ounces of metsulfuron in there. So there you go. That's how you do the math. And I do that same formula over and over and over and over again. But again, you need to know how much water volume you're putting out for every 1,000 square feet for this formula to work for you. Now what happens if you don't do this fall application? Well, you're probably going to get a lot of cool season weeds, and you think, well, that might be a little bit expensive. It's actually not crazy expensive. Yes, I know these bottles of stuff have some price tags on them, but when you come out to what it actually costs you to spray a regular size lawn, it's not that expensive. Not doing it means that you're probably going to have a lot of weeds next spring, and oftentimes it's more difficult to kill those weeds from a post-emergent standpoint, and can be even more expensive. So let me just give you an example. Now the Spectacle is a good bit of an expensive product, but let's say I just get a yard full of Poa annua, and I want to go out there next year and try to kill it. Well, I'm probably going to end up needing a product like Revolve or something, which is also an expensive product. And then you got the Poa in the yard, and then I got to go back and spray this extra product that I wasn't going to have to spray. And so for me, it just makes sense to go ahead and put down a very effective fall application. Is it perfect? No. Is there some breakthrough occasionally? Yes, occasionally there's still some yards that are going to end up with a few weeds. But overall, I want them to be as clean as possible so that next January, I'm not having to run around and spraying Revolver everywhere, or March, whenever it starts showing up, to try to kill off a bunch of Poa and other cool season weeds. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's been easy to understand. I try to explain things where just about anybody can understand it. You may have to watch the math part again to fully understand, but it's just the same equation over and over and over again. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Also want to mention a couple things. Equip Expo's coming up soon. You can use my code CREOL50, and that will save you half off your ticket price. That's my last name, CREEL 50, when you register. Also, I'm having my fourth conference, the fourth Lawn Care Life Conference. That's February 23rd and 24th of 2024. We've had a lot of people already take advantage of the early bird ticket price. Is $197. It's a Friday night and all day Saturday. Well, I say all day up until about 4 o'clock. All your meals are included for $197. It's near Birmingham, Alabama. You can go to lawncarelife.com and click on the conference link, and it'll give you the information you need for that. And finally, if you want to get into weed control and fertilization like me and start doing what I'm doing for a business, and especially if you're in warm season grasses, you might want to take advantage of the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. That's also at lawncarelife.com. A lot of people are taking advantage of that and giving me feedback that's been very helpful for them making the jump into weed control and fertilization. It's been a good move for me. Hope the video's been helpful. We'll see you guys in the next one. Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel, and let me be the first to invite you to the 2024 Lawn Care Life Conference, February 23rd and 24th in Springville, Alabama, just outside of Birmingham. I've got my friend Paul Jamison, Alan Hain, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Jeremy Vest, Naylor Taliaferro, Jeremiah Jennings, and others coming, and hopefully you coming to this year's event. We've got seats for 300 people, and this year's going to be bigger and better than ever. This is our fourth conference to do, and the early bird ticket prices is $197. That includes all your meals. We got a Friday night session, we got dinner, we got an after party, and we got breakfast and lunch on Saturday with a day full of sessions. We've got equipment to ride on, giveaways, sponsors. It's going to be a great event, a lot of transparency, a lot of interaction, a lot of tips on how to grow your business, and a lot of fun. We hope to see you February 23rd, 24th, Springville, Alabama.
I absolutely love Jason and Tracy Creel. They have humongous hearts of hospitality. They host a wonderful event. I attended it back in 2020, and I'm really looking forward to returning to Sweet Home, Alabama for the 2024 Lawn Care Life Conference.
Hey guys, I can't wait to see you at Jason's event this February. There's going to be a lot of speakers giving as much value as they can, such as myself, as well as a lot of great networking opportunities. Hope to see you there soon.
Hey y'all, I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Happy to let you know that I will be attending the Lawn Care Life Conference in 2024, February 23rd and 24th of 2024. This is Jason Creel's conference. This is the fourth year. I've been there every year. I'll be a keynote speaker this year, going to bring you some fire.
I'd say there's no better place that you can go to get the tools you need to be successful.
Like-minded people, good networking.
I've learned a lot about growing my business more than anything here.
I tell you what, this place could not be any better. We got a lot of great information, a lot of great speakers. The food was awesome.
Jason Creel has done a very, very excellent job in presenting this lawn care conference.
Awesome to meet some of the guys that you follow on YouTube.
You're around like-minded people who also want to grow, and you're listening to people who were just like you who are also growing.
Definitely be coming back next year.